It's heating up. We haven't even seen the final fireworks yet, I believe. Hey, it's John D. Villarreal here on the John D. Villarreal radio show, the syndicated radio show on the conservative New Media Radio Network. Join the program right now. Call in at 866-770-5556. Anywhere, toll free in the United States. You can also check us out on Ustream. You go to kfiv.com, you plug it in there, you listen, you look live, you join the chat room from people all around the country, and you get your voice heard, and we'll review your comments there as you do. Now, here's the thing. What do I mean by all this? Well, we got the California's governor's race that's getting super explosive. They're trading blasts back and forth. Meg is looking like she's in trouble. We want to help her out. We want to get her across the finish line. That's number one. Number two, Sharon Angle in that debate. She told Harry Reid to man up. Now she's tripled it out. She says, man up, man up, man up, Harry Reid. She is blowing this guy up. The Democrats are really worried about it. You've got Obama saying crazy stuff about her. Then we've got Juan Wlliams. Juan Wlliams was fired from NPR for his comments that he made on Fox News. Now, I want to know what you think about that. Do you think that his comments were out of bounds, or do you think that this is political correctness run amok, that they were looking to fire him? That's what he says, allegedly. And do we really need to be funding NPR? Do we need to be funding that type of stuff? We know, in my personal opinion, that they're liberal and that they're biased, and it's getting crazy. We've got that. We've got MMA Explosion. The heavyweight championship title is on the line. UFC, Brock Lesnar versus local hero Cain Velasquez that trains in San Jose at AKA. I'm telling you right now, I don't think anybody can beat Brock, but we know a lot of people see it the other way, and they think that Cain Velasquez is going to be the first Hispanic heavyweight champion out there. We got so much more going on the campaign trail now. People are saying the Democrats are playing dirty. It's getting kind of crazy. So I want to know what you think about it. Let's bring Paul in here to talk about this situation with Juan Wlliams. Paul, what's going down?
Hey, man, what's going on? Just saying hello to all the KFIV, KWSX listeners.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, explain what happened. We had wall-to-wall coverage. You put up a bunch of videos about this Juan Wlliams situation. This thing has been a firestorm this week.
Yeah, here's what happened. Juan Wlliams went on the Bill O'Reilly show this past Monday, and they were talking about Bill O'Reilly's appearance recently on The View, where Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg basically got up and left the set after Bill O'Reilly said that the Ground Zero Mosque is opposed by 70% of the United States public because something along the lines of Muslims attacked us on 9/11. And so they were discussing this, Bill O'Reilly and Juan Wlliams were, on the show, on O'Reilly's show, and Juan Wlliams just essentially said, look, when I get on a plane, on an airplane, and I see people that are very outwardly dressing in conspicuously Muslim garb, I get a little bit nervous.
Okay.
And so what happened is NPR heard this. They got a lot of blowback from CAIR, which is the Council on American and Islamic Relations.
Right.
And so that later that night, I believe on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, they fired Juan Wlliams.
Wow. Now, see, that's interesting right there. Well, first of all, let's go step one, step two, step three. Step one, and I want to hear from the listeners out there all across the nation, 866-770-5556. Call in right now at 866-770-5556. The first question I have for you, JDV, John D. Villarreal listeners, the first question is what Juan Wlliams said, was that out of bounds? Was that hate speech? Or was that protected First Amendment speech? Should he have been allowed to say it? And even if he should have been allowed to say it, was NPR right in firing him? So let's take that step one. Paul, what have you seen out there in terms of comments, and what's your own view as far as the content of what Juan Wlliams said?
Well, I've seen a lot of real outrage towards NPR for the firing of Juan Wlliams. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg herself.
But wait, hold on. Let's rewind that. We're going to get into all that. But before we get into that, just what he said. If we have the reports right, that when I get on an airplane, Juan Wlliams was saying, hey, when he got on an airplane, that if he says someone in full Muslim garb, that he gets a little bit nervous. Do you think that was right or wrong of him to say?
I think that he was expressing his own personal feelings, and therefore it was okay for him to say, even if it's not politically correct to say it. I mean, the bottom line is, unfortunately, a lot of the recent incidents of terrorism, particularly ones that succeeded and did not succeed in this country, were done by individuals, maybe Muslim extremists, but of the Islamic faith.
Now, see, it's interesting. See, I don't agree with Juan Wlliams, and I don't think he should have said that. My producer Dave just put something up here. We actually have the Juan Wlliams audio. Let's go to that so that everybody knows what we're talking about here. Let's play that right now.
That talking points memo is really written by Alan Combs. So where am I going wrong there, Juan?
Well, actually, I hate to say this to you because I don't want to get your ego going, but I think you're right. I think, look, political correctness can lead to some kind of paralysis where you don't address reality. I mean, look, Bill, I'm not a bigot. You know, the kind of books I've written about the civil rights movement in this country. But when I get on a plane, I got to tell you, if I see people who are in Muslim garb, and I think, they're identifying themselves first and foremost as Muslims, I get worried. I get nervous. Now, I remember also that when that Times Square bomber was at court, I think this was just last week, he said the war with Muslims, America's war with Muslims, is just beginning, first drop of blood. I don't think there's any way to get away from these facts, but I think there are people who want to somehow remind us all, as President Bush did after 9/11, it's not a war against Islam. President Bush went to a mosque.
Well, there isn't any theology involved in this at all from my perspective, Juan. But you live in the liberal precincts. Yeah, you actually work for NPR. Okay?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, there we go. There's what the man said himself. We got to go to a break here very quickly. But quickly, let's take John in Modesto. John, what do you think about what he just said right there? Those are Juan Wlliams' own words.
Yeah, Juan Wlliams was by no means out of line on that. What's going on actually is that CARE is a front group for these radical Islamists that they want to turn this into a war against Muslims because they think that'll help with their recruiting and with their
fundraising,
incitement of Muslim hatred towards anybody non-Muslim. So that's their goal, and that's what they're out to accomplish. And they got a small victory on that, but the reality is most of us recognize it's not a war against Muslims; it's a war against wackos.
Now, do you agree with what Juan Wlliams said, and would you have said it?
Well, to a certain extent, yes. I wouldn't have said it that way, but I would say that, first of all, what is Muslim garb, number one? I mean,
well, like maybe a burqa or a hijab or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a message that's intended to be sent to the rest of us. That is, we're here, we're in your face, and we're going to continue to remain that way.
Now,
so there's a certain message sent by that sort of
the way they're dressing. On the other hand, they might say that, look, they're just respecting their culture, they're respecting their faith, and they're law-abiding American citizens like anyone else. But let me ask you very quickly, and then we got to go here. Do you think NPR was right in firing Juan? Do you think that that's their prerogative to do that, number one? And number two, do you think that the American people the taxpayers need to continue to fund NPR and public broadcasting if they are basically identifying themselves as a left-leaning source?
Well, I think that our government funds far too many things to begin with. So with or without this firing, I think that we should defund National Public Broadcasting in general. I think it's ridiculous that we pay for them, regardless of whether or not they fired Juan Wlliams. As far as firing him, I mean, as far as I know, they can hire and fire who they want. I don't know if it met the contractual requirements for the contract with him, but I think they should be able to hire and fire who they want for for pretty much whatever reasons they want, as long as they're legal. I don't know if it's legal or not.
John, appreciate the call.